Okay, I'd like to talk again about how we estimate division. If you've forgotten about estimating division, there's actually a video I have called Estimating Division 1, because this is the Estimating Division 2 video. It wouldn't hurt to go back and rewatch that. Now we're going to do it with a little bit larger numbers than we've done before. And here's a review of what we've talked about with estimating division. We want to get numbers that we can divide in our head. Okay. So when we estimate addition and subtraction, we can really just round to the same place because we can add any numbers. And when we estimate with multiplication, we did what was called front-end rounding, and we just rounded to the highest place in both numbers because we have any one-digit times one-digit multiplication problem memorized. With division, it gets a little more complicated because you can't just divide any numbers in your head, and we do want to do it quickly. And so what I want to remind us that we did was it matters which number you round first. We have a dividend and a divisor, and we're going to round the divisor first. And we know how to divide by one digit very well, and so we're always going to front end round the divisor. We'll round it to its greatest place. In this case, we're going to round the divisor to the hundreds place. So we have 380. Its largest place is the hundreds, so let's round it to the nearest hundred. And we should recognize very quickly that 380 rounds to be 400. That's a very close answer. Okay. Now here's the part where it gets changed a little bit. If we went and front-end rounded 29,920 to its front end, we would round it to 30,000. And 30,000 is not easily divisible by 4 or 400. 30 is not a factor of 4. 300 is, but you probably don't have that one memorized. And so what I like to do is I come and I underline the first two places. You see how we have a 29. I want to round not necessarily to the nearest 10,000, the nearest 1,000, but I want to round 29 to the closest number to that number that's divisible by 4. And what is the closest number to 29 that can be divided by 4? And the closest number is 28. And so I would actually round this to 28,000. That's a little different than the rounding you've done before because it's not to the nearest place. But what it is it's to the nearest compatible number. You see, now I have a very simple problem. I have 28 divided by 4, which I already know is going to be 7. The goal of estimation is for things to be quicker and easier, and this is the quickest and easiest way. Now I recognize that I'm not just dividing by 4, but I'm dividing by 400, and so I can divide by 100 first. We remember the way you divide by 100 is you just mark out 2 zeros, and we'll mark out 2 zeros from the divisor as well, because what we're left with is 280 divided by 4. For 280 divided by 4, well, we know 28 divided by 4 is 7, and there's a 0. So the answer should be about 70. And we can check it. 70 times 400, well, 7 times 4 is 28, and we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, and there's 1, 2, 3 zeros, so we know it's right. And so if I wanted to answer correctly, I would say that 29,920 divided by 380 is about 70. Okay, I hope you kind of get the hang of that now that it's our second time through that skill. Let's do this. Let's try a word problem for you to do on your own and then see if you've estimated it the same as I do. So the problem I want us to try is Maria paid $959 for 33 copies of some software. Give a quick estimate of the cost per copy. And I'm going to let you know something that we do need to know. There's actually more than one correct way to estimate this problem. There will be an answer that's a little more precise than another, but one that might be a little quicker. And so I want you to try what you think is the best estimate. And I'm going to show you 2 different possible correct answers that you could have. So pause the video, take a moment to do that on your own, and then check and see if we've done it the same way. Okay, now that I've given you some time to do that, I'm going to go ahead and split in half so I can show us both ways to do it. No matter how you thought to do it, you should recognize that this problem is 959 divided by 33 for an answer. So I'm going to write that on both sides. And I definitely want us to be rounding the divisor first. And we know if we round 33 to the nearest 10, since that's its largest place, we should be dividing by 30. Now here's the thing. I'm going to underline my 95. Some of you may have said that this was very close to 900. And if you said it's very close to 900, the reason you would say that, even though it's closer to 1,000 than 900, 900 is so easy to divide by 30. And if you did it that way, what you'll recognize is we can go ahead and dividing by 30. We can divide by 10 first, which leaves us with 90 divided by 3 still to do. And 90 divided by 3 is 30. You could say that Maria paid about $30 for each copy of the software. Now, some of you may have been a little closer to the way I showed to do it, even though it is a little more work on this one. You could say 95 is very close to 96, because we know that 96 is divisible by 3. So you could have 960 divided by 30. This answer will probably be a little more precise. It does take a little more work. You could, then that means you could go ahead and divide by 10 first, and the problem is just 96 divided by 3, which is a very quick and easy problem to do, and you would get that it was about $32. We notice that those estimates are both very, very close, and either way is good. In estimation, it's about finding the quickest and easiest way for ourselves. It's not about actually having the exact answer.